to earn more money. Because at that time, Daniel decided that it was more important to earn money. However, Daniel was adamant about this idea. So he pitched this idea to Martin Lawrence. He needed to argue the point publicly. And one of the statements he put out was that Spotify in general was set up for the music industry as a whole. Despite all of its pushback, Spotify was finally launched, but needs to be implemented in order to achieve that. The purpose of this video is to inspire young entrepreneurs Is it possible for a broke Swedish website developer to build up a $27 billion company in just a few years? This is the story of Daniel Ek. Born in Stockholm, Sweden, Daniel showed a keen interest in website development and technology at a very early age. And by age 14, Daniel started creating his own websites for small businesses in his spare bedroom. Now, at such an early age, Daniel was showing incredible entrepreneurial skills. But little did he know, the best was yet to come. At age 19, Daniel dropped out of college to pursue different opportunities and to get a job to earn more money. Because at that time, Daniel decided that it was more important to earn money than pursue an education. It was during this time that Daniel worked for several web-based companies. However, in 2004, Daniel started his own online marketing firm at Vertigo. A few years later, in 2006, Daniel decided to sell at Vertigo to Treinetic, another Swedish company at the time. However, it was during this time where Daniel developed the amazing and ingenious concept of allowing consumers and users to use and listen to online streaming music for free, as long as adverts were allowed to be displayed. However, it was during this time where the pre-grained notion of music downloads and online downloads, such as iTunes, was existing in the market, and that was the grain at the time. However, Daniel was adamant about this idea. So he pitched this idea to Martin Lawrence, at the time one of the co-founders of Treinetic. Martin was incredibly impressed with this concept and decided that he needed to get on in the action. So this is where they both decided to start up Spotify. Despite his great innovative idea, Daniel faced a lot of criticism and pushback at the time from the industry as a whole. Well, one of the main reasons for this criticism and pushback was that the concept of online streaming music would earn artists and record labels far less compared to the pre-existing per-song download that iTunes and other musical platforms was offering at the time. However, Daniel decided he needed to argue the point publicly, and one of the statements he put out was that Spotify in general was set up to eliminate or prevent piracy as a whole of music for artists, and also provide a low cost-effective platform for consumers, which in the long run would earn substantial royalties for the music industry as a whole. Despite all of its pushback, Spotify was finally launched in 2008 and became an instant hit with both potential investors and users alike. And by 2010, venture capital started streaming into the business. This is where Daniel took the opportunity to broaden the organization and grow it further into other foreign markets. So by 2012, Spotify amassed a remarkable 18 million songs available on its platform, while also at the same time having an incredible 20 million active users monthly. This was an extraordinary achievement for Daniel, something he would have ever imagined. And finally, by 2025, Spotify was valued at over $27 billion. So what can you take from this story? Well, this story overall teaches young entrepreneurs a really important lesson. So let's just take it back to 2007 and 2008, where this was a time where if you wanted to listen to music, you had to either listen to it in CDs, pirate it, or you had to download it at iTunes for crazy rates. Well, this was a really difficult and inconvenient time for music listeners. However, that was the norm. People had to accept it because that was all that was available. So for someone like Daniel to take a completely download-centric music industry and transform it into a streaming industry had to take true vision and true grit. Only that comes in the hand of a visionary entrepreneur. So overall, the moral of this story is that everyone has different types of innovative ideas. But the difference between a normal idealist and an entrepreneur is that an entrepreneur can take that idea and make it into reality by doing the work and implementing what needs to be implemented in order to achieve that. The purpose of this video is to inspire young entrepreneurs and provide them with the necessary knowledge and know-how on how to achieve their dreams and aspirations going forward. Stay tuned for the next series of videos. Thank you.